Tracy Miller, and I'm doing my lesson on teaching diction. The learning goals for this lesson are exploring the relationship between purpose, audience, tone, and appropriate language usage, distinguishing word choice and its appropriateness throughout writing, distinguishing between casual, formal, and slang words within, and to be able to write original short paragraphs or letters demonstrating the effect of purpose and audience on language and use of word choice. Hello. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is usually a large matter. It's the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning by Mark Twain. That is the quote to ponder on this afternoon. How many words are in your active vocabulary?
1,000.
500, 2,000.
I'll say 500.
Okay. How many words do you use in your passive vocabulary? Just talking to a friend.
300.
Okay.
150.
How many do you think you use on a daily basis? Working, play, casual.
I don't think we use that many. I think probably just 150, 200 words on the average.
Okay. In this lesson, I will break up the students into groups. You will speak with your partners and discuss how many words you think you use in a day or in a lifetime, or how many words you actually do know. And you will discuss for a minute or two. We'll come back and discuss that the average person actually knows 20 to 50,000 words depending on their level of education. So, as I say, we don't use all the time our extensive vocabulary that we should be using, and we're all learning diction, and it is all a ever-growing education learning. What's the point of having so many? What's the point of having knowledge of so many words in your vocabulary when you don't actually use them on a daily basis? That is where the use of diction comes into play. Does anyone know what diction actually means?
Type the words or what you're using.
How do you use your words?
Okay. Diction is actually word choice. The precise words that we use to convey our intended meaning. We use diction every day, and we don't realize that we're actually doing it when we choose proper words that we use to convey meaning. When we write, especially professionally, one of the most important decisions as a writer we use is to use what type of diction to use. Diction is the style of writing used based on the word appearance, sound, and meaning of the selected words the writer wishes to use. In writing, diction is very important because it conveys the style of the piece the author wishes to compose, whether it be conversational, a story, intellectual manners. These are all chosen by the types of words that you use. Choosing words to convey meaning and purpose are a large part of your writing. There are 3 steps to start your writing. First, you start by learning who your readers are, learning who your audience is going to be. If your audience is going to be kindergartners, write your story for kindergartners. If your audience is going to be a college acceptance letter, make sure you are writing it formally to that audience. Second, choose your type. Is it going to be a formal letter? Is it going to be casual? Or are you going to use slang? We don't typically use slang, but you can choose to use slang if it is going to be a personal letter to another person or something of that nature. Lastly, you want to keep your flow. Like I said before, if you're going to write a formal letter, make sure that you're writing a formal letter. Stay formal throughout your entire paper or letter or whichever you are choosing to be writing, as you don't want to confuse your audience as to what they are reading. For example, we have several different types. As the formal, casual, and slang that I have graphs here for formal. Are not angry. That is a formal writing, is not to use a contraction. Casual, aren't mad, is using a contraction between are and not. The slang, very informal, is ain't, the word ain't. We don't use ain't in a classroom setting. You may use that on the playground next with your friend, but we do not use slang. We try to not to use slang within our writings. Second, we're going to have positive and negative connotations for the words that we use, along with being formal, casual, or slang. We have positive, pruning the bushes. That is a positive spin to cutting bushes. It is a different word to use. The politician's stance. The politician is taking a stance for something. It is a positive way that he's standing up for something that he believes in. Negative for those two sentences, we have slashing at the bushes. Slashing is a negative. It is a derogatory term that you can actually see this person slashing at the bushes. It really gives you a sense of what they're doing. And then the politician's spin. We all know politicians can be upside down and greedy and be in the wrong. So when it says the politician's spin, they're putting a spin on something that's wrong. It's not actually telling you the truth. So you can actually see that happening. Okay. We also have a YouTube video for us to watch. It is a Friends video on word choice. And I'm going to play it for my constituents here. And it will also be up on the website as well. As student practice, we're going to answer the questions that are on your sheet. Are also going to be questions that we're going to fill out on another sheet as well. So we're going to go through those. There's 5 questions, and what we're going to do is decide if they're formal, casual, or slang sentences throughout the group, and we're going to do those together. Okay? Number 1, we're writing a letter to a college or university to inquire about admissions. Is that going to be casual, slang, or formal writing?
Formal.
Good job. Question 2, we're writing a classmate to ask about a definition that you forgot to write down in class.
Casual.
Or could be slang.
Casual or slang, it could be one or the other depending on how good of friends you are. Number 3, we're writing to a friend to catch up on his or her life.
Casual or slang.
Good. Question 4, we're writing a thank you note to a grandparent for a gift.
Formal.
Formal. Writing anything to a grandparent for thanking or thank you should be formal. 5, writing an acceptance letter for a scholarship.
Formal.
Formal, absolutely. Anybody who is writing for a university or college or in their bachelor's or master's or whatever they're trying to attain should be able to write a formal letter. Moving on to our loaded words worksheet, we are going to determine which kinds of words that we should be using and which kinds of words we should not be using in our writing and communicating. Sophisticated writing emphasizes specific, vivid word choice, words that create a visual image, words that are most clearly reflective in the writer's meaning. No writer has perfected the art of word choice. The quest to find the best word to describe meaning serves as a constant challenge for all of us. Throughout our writing, we're going to begin to experiment with word choice and carefully reflect on the words before you include them in your writing. We're going to begin thinking about words that are overused in our everyday language and our writing that fail to create a vivid image for our readers. Which words do you think that are vague, unclear, overused within our writing and within our speaking and everyday?
A lot.
Do you have any examples?
Really?
Really?
Stuff.
Stuff. Bad.
Okay.
Very.
Okay. Very. Those are excellent words because even when you're speaking, informally, you will say, I really like that painting. Not even thinking twice to say, I thoroughly enjoyed that painting. You don't really necessarily automatically go to those thinking of those specific words. You just overly use the word really because that is our society of now. So we're going to avoid using those words and start using more specific words to describe things. We're going to avoid unclear, vague words as the ones that we have just mentioned. We're also going to use words that appeal to the senses. We're going to use color words, sounds, smells, and touch sensations. For example, scalding instead of the word hot, chuckle instead of the word laugh, and teal instead of the word blue. Those are small ones. And then we're going to use the most specific synonyms as possible. For example, she sprinted instead of she moved. Or I explained this lesson instead of I said this is what the lesson is. Replace confusing pronouns with an actual word instead of the pronoun, what the pronoun represents. For example, the students completed many homework assignments before they caught on fire. What should we replace they with?
Assignments.
Student.
Yeah, be more specific. The student completed many homework assignments before the assignments caught on fire. Things like that. Replace the vagueness. We're going to go through a few sentences and we're going to choose which words are more appropriate or more specific for the sentence. Okay? He has a really nice personality. Between considerate, compassionate, ongoing, and carefree, which words do you think would be most specific for that sentence?
Consider.
He has a really considerate personality.
Yeah.
Mhm. He has a very outgoing personality. Those are all great choices for that sentence. Okay? Moving on. I have a really bad pain in my leg. Which words would be more descriptive than really bad?
Excruciating.
Excruciating. That is a great word. Great word. Number 2, she has very ugly hair. What can we change very ugly for?
Unsightly.
Okay.
Messy.
Messy, unsightly, unpleasant,
Greasy.
greasy. All right. Question 3. I saw a pretty good movie over the weekend. What could we take out for pretty good?
Action-packed.
Action-packed. Nice.
Thriller.
Thriller.
Sad.
Sad. Isn't that one of those overused words that we aren't supposed to be using?
I don't see it up there.
It was depressing.
Oh,
The
okay,
movie
yes,
was
it was.
depressing. All right. We're going to move on. Please put your stuff, books, belongings away. Which words do you think would be most appropriate for that?
Books. Books.
Books. Okay. I have some directions, information, things to give you.
Information.
Or directions, either one.
Information or directions, I have some directions to give you. Yep, anything but things. Things is vague. We went, traveled, journeyed, marched up the hill.
Journey or marched.
Or travel.
Anything but when.
Anything but went, exactly. I tried to warn, tell, communicate to you to study for the test.
One.
Communicate to.
Communicate.
Yep.
Not tell.
Not tell. Tell is very vague. What you're going to be doing this evening is doing a no repeat worksheet, which is you're going to write 10 sentences on the rainforest. Rainforest is our topic. Choose anything you want to talk about with your topic. 10 sentences, not repeating a word that you used. We want to expand our brain. We cannot use the word is, the, and, I. Refrain from using those words more than once. And then you want to branch out. Use descriptive words about colors, the trees, the grass, the rain, anything that you want to use. Make sure you are descriptive and only use the word once within your 10 sentences. And then finally at the end of the paper, you're going to write a reflection, a paragraph using what you just learned throughout the lesson and how it has expanded your vocabulary and writing and what we have learned today. In closing, the question I would like to for you to take home is how important is it to choose the correct word within your writing? Does it seem to have an impact on how well your writing sounds? Take that home with you. Also, listen to your family speak to each other. How are their words, how do they choose their words? Are their words descriptive? Are they vague? Just take some notes and see what world that you live in and the words that they use. Okay?